Alrighty, so this time around we're going to play a standard deck, and we're going to play Smothering Storm. The main idea behind this deck is you land a Smothering Tithe, so that every time your opponent draws they have to pay mana, or we gain a treasure. Basically a Lotus Petal, where we get mana for free. And if we're forcing to our opponent to draw 7 cards, or potentially more at a time, we get a ton of mana. So the idea is we get a ton of mana, we draw our whole deck, we land a 1,000-year storm, we start heroic reinforcing or lightning striking our opponent to death, and just try and survive until then. So yeah, without further ado, let's take this into some best of 1 matches. Alright, this looks like a pretty good hand, so we'll keep this hand. Opponent starts Mountain and Fanatical Firebrand. Well, it's a good thing we have a bunch of life gain to start out with. We'll play Glacial Fortress tapped, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain, plays an Electrostatic Field. And gets in 4-1, we're down to 18. We draw a Steam Vents, play a Mountain, pass the turn. Make our opponent think we've got something. Opponent plays a Mountain, plays another Electrostatic Field. Well, that's kind of bad news. Opponent goes to attacks. Gets us down to 17. We revitalize at their end step. Draw a card, untap, and draw another card. Let's Tormenting Voice, discard an island. Draw Chemister's Insight and Hallowed Fountain. Play Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent doesn't just like storm us to death with burn spells right now. That would be very bad for our health. Okay, opponent Wizard's Lightning, but it's full price, so that's a little better. Takes us to 14. We untap. Play Sulfur Falls. Play Smothering Tithe. See if we can't start building up some treasure. I imagine our opponent does not pay. They're going to want to use their mana for burn spells. Okay, opponent gives us a treasure. Opponent plays Runaway Steamkin. Well, we would like a board wipe now. Opponent gets in for 1, takes us to 13. Settle the Wreckage is a board wipe, but we would have to shock No, we do have a treasure. So let's play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn, I think. Okay. Opponent probably gives us another treasure. Yep, there it is. Hopefully they just blow all their spells pre-combat main. And we take a ton of damage. Opponent skewers, even more damage. Opponent goes to combat. Well, we settle the wreckage, target our opponent. Pay white. I think we're going to need this Revitalize and this mana. Yeah. No, we gotta fire this off now. So let's Revitalize. We draw another Smothering Tithe, untap. We draw a 1,000-year storm. Play an island. I guess play 1,000-year storm. Pass the turn. Opponent needs any 2 burn spells will kill us, I think. We get a treasure. Wizard's Lightning. It's going to take us to 1. Any burn spell. Any burn spell. That's a burn spell. Oh, well, not a great start, but hey. I'm not entirely sure how to play this. I think we're gonna mulligan. We play against aggro, we just don't do anything until we die. I'll try keeping. We'll see what happens. Opponent starts Watery Grave. Thank goodness it doesn't appear to be an aggro deck. Play Steam Vents tapped. Opponent plays a swamp. Thought Erasure. Opponent takes Smothering Tithe. Play Hallowed Fountain tapped. I don't think this is a good card, but that's just me. Play Glacial Fortress. Play Treasure Map. Treasure Map resolves. Pass the turn. Opponent passes. We scry at their end step. I'm okay drawing an opt here. Play a mountain. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Watery Grave, tapped. Okay, so let's scry with Treasure Map, Hallowed Fountain to the bottom. Go to our turn. Play Hallowed Fountain untapped. Scry again with Treasure Map, Island to the bottom. And get some treasure. Pass the turn. We're going to fire off this Chemister's Insight, I think. Our opponent taps out for a Doom Whisperer, then we're golden. That's what I was predicting. Opponent going to pay a bunch of life to Surveil. It looks like, anyway. Opponent puts Eldest Reborn into the grave and something else on top. Okay, at our opponent's end step, we Chemister's Insight. Ooh, Smothering Tithe is good. So if we play Sulfur Falls, we're up to 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. So we can play Smothering Tithe and play 1000-Year Storm. Like that's the whole jam to the deck, right? Like, once these are on board, our opponent shouldn't really have an answer to them. Because after that, we're going to start storming. Okay. Smothering Tithe trigger. Does our opponent give us a treasure? They do. They need their mana this turn. Opponent plays an Eldest Reborn. We have no creatures with which to sack. Opponent going to hit us for 6. That's probably going to hurt. Opponent's surveilling. Not sure why. Not why right now, anyway. I mean, like, I understand why they're surveilling. Puts both cards back, looks like. We take 6. Go to our turn. We draw Revitalize. Well, that's pretty good. So let's play a Sulfur Falls. Start with an opt. Mountain bottom, we draw Plains. Well, let's Chemister's Insight. Pitch Steam Vents. Draw 4. Reload our hand. Kind of just want to deploy now. This was a one-off that I added because I was missing some things from the Mtggoldfish list. So gain 2, then 4, then 6 life. Get a bunch of 1/1s. Pass the turn. Opponent draws. Smothering Tithe trigger. We get a treasure. Opponent gonna make us discard. We'll discard... I guess this plains we don't need. Opponent plays an island. Ritual of Soot. Alright, there goes the Thopters. Mainly did that to gain a life, though. Okay, opponent gonna get in for 6. We untap, we draw an opt. Okay, well, play an island. Start opt. Mountain to the bottom. Draw Glacial Fortress. Opt again. Sacred Foundry to the bottom. Draw plains. Heroic reinforcements. We'll keep that. I think that's a way to win the game. Then that would leave us with 2 mana. So let's Revitalize, draw some more cards, gain a bunch of life. We have 2 mana, so let's Tormenting Voice. Discard a plains. So draw 2, draw 2, draw 2, draw 2. And we unfortunately cannot emergency powers, but it is not really necessary at this stage of the game. We're just going to try and cast this Heroic Reinforcements. And this should kill our opponent. I'm going to make some really big tokens. Everybody attacks. And goodbye, opponent. Opponent moment of cravings a token, but then eats more damage than they have life. I hate that they keep like resetting my avatar. I don't know why that happens. We have some draw manipulation, we have some life gain. We have a lot of card draw, so I think I'm inclined to keep this one. Opponent starts Mountain. So, Hallowed Fountain untapped. It's the mono red electrostatic field. Alright, well, let's play Clifftop Retreat and Treasure Map. We really need the mana as fast as we can get it, so Treasure Map helping us get there is pretty good. When it plays a 3rd mountain and a risk factor, we will take the damage. And draw Revitalize. Play a mountain. Scry with Treasure Map. Sulfur Falls to the top. Then let's Tormenting Voice, discard Chemister's Insight. Draw Lightning Strike. When it plays a 2nd electrostatic field, we draw another Tormenting Voice. So play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Scry with Treasure Map. Opt to the bottom. gain some life just in case they somehow like try and combo kill us next turn. We'll stop on our upkeep to scry with treasure map this time. The third scry is the most important. Opponent skewers us. It's pretty good. Second skewer, that hurts. Okay, we untap. Scry with the map. We do need Smothering Tithe, but I think we need 1000-Year Storm more. So Smothering Tithe to the bottom. We draw opt. Well, let's start opt here. Emergency powers. We'll keep emergency powers. I guess we revitalize now. Okay. We do have lightning strike if we have to. That would still allow us to emergency powers. Maybe I should have kept that Smothering Tithe. So opponent going to risk factor again. We are going to take the damage. If our opponent has another 3 mana burn or 3 damage burn spell, we lose, but go to our turn. Let's Tormenting Voice. Discard an island. There's a Smothering Tithe. Play Glacial Fortress. Wish we had one more way to gain life. We're dead almost certainly without a Revitalize. We already have 2 in the grave. We could draw Depose deploy. Yeah, let's Tormenting Voice. Discard Mountain. I guess at this point we play Smothering Tithe. They could draw a creature and not a non-creature spell here. A single shock wouldn't do it either. The opponent gives us the treasure. Plays a mountain. Do they have it? Doesn't look like they have it. Let's Chemister's Insight. Okay, there's a Revitalize. That makes me feel a little better. Draw on emergency powers. Glacial Fortress to the bottom. Okay, pass the turn. Opponent draws. Wants to risk factor. If we take the damage, we die because they can jumpstart, and we just take 2 off of the. We have to let them draw. That's awkward. Opponent gives us 3 treasures now. Unless they have another burn spell they want to fire in response. We're dead to Lightning Strike Shock. Kind of hoping our opponent taps out for a 3-drop creature. And plays a land. That does not bode well for us. The opponent we decline to take 4 damage. Our opponent shocks, we have to try and opt into Okay, opponent lights up the stage. They have no more... Oh, sweet! So now we can do what this deck was designed to do. And we will just emergency powers on our opponent's end step. We give them a bunch of draws, but we gain a bunch of mana. Sweet. Go to our turn. Play a land. And let's emergency powers. Hopefully, we have 43 cards left. Oh, we Smothering Tithe first. Absolutely Smothering Tithe first. Ooh, this is going to be quite awesome. So let's Revitalize, draw a card, gain a little life. Do that again. Okay, now we emergency powers. White, blue, or... Okay. We did this during our main phase. We can put 1000-Year Storm into play. Put a quadrillion triggers on the stack. I'm pretty sure if we cast another emergency powers, we time out. So, draw a million cards. And there's the win. It's a shame to have to end it so early and not get to do more of the combo, but oh, this deck's fun. Super sweet. I didn't actually do the math to see if this really kills our opponent, but if it doesn't, we can lightning strike them to death. I think if they block both 6s, that's still, yeah, that's still lethal. Woo! We got there. Well, this seems like a pretty good hand. We have half the combo, we have a treasure map, we have some delay. So start Steam Vents tapped. When it plays a Drowned Catacomb, we play an island, play a treasure map, stop on our upkeep. Really would like to scry into another land here, if we can. When it plays a swamp, Discovery. Okay, so we scry, Revitalize to the bottom. We draw Glacial Fortress, go to our main, play Glacial Fortress. Do we Revitalize or Tormenting Voice? Let's Revitalize. Alright, sweet, another land. Opponent plays an island, plays Thief of Sanity. Oh, I did not scry it or upkeep. Play Clifftop. Pass the turn. I think we try and fire off a Settle the Wreckage here. Alright, so we depose the Thief of Sanity. Tap it and draw. Go ahead and scry. Cleansing Nova to the bottom. Stop on our upkeep. Opponent gets to see our whole hand. I think they have to take emergency powers. They take Settle. They're not scared of emergency powers. Alright, so we treasure map on our upkeep, mountain to the bottom. Gain some treasure. We draw Smothering Tithe, go to our main. Play Smothering Tithe. Okay. Pass her in. Pass to our opponent's turn. As long as they don't exile all of our... Oh, no. Even if they do exile one of our win conditions, emergency powers will shuffle the other ones back in. So opponent pays to prevent us from getting mana. Gets in for 2. Okay, Thief of Sanity's ability resolves. And they get something. Kinda hoping they tap out. It'd be really good for us. Well, we draw a second emergency powers. So we have 6 mana. I guess we just try and fire this off. If we get quenched or spell pierced, that's okay, as long as it's not like a negate. Which, if you're negating, how are you surviving and against aggro? Does our opponent counter this? I'll be real interested to see. Opponent lightning strikes our face. Okay. So we get to resolve and put a Smothering Tithe onto the battlefield. Get 7 treasures. Play Sulfur Falls. Revitalize. Opponent says good game. Pass the turn. Put triggers on the stack. Opponent plays an island. Plays a second Thief of Sanity. Alright, I'm going to Depose Thief of Sanity. Mainly because we would like to draw anything. Okay, opponent dives down. Okay, they get in, they get a trigger. We draw emergency powers. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So play Sulfur Falls. We're going to... We don't want to tap Treasure Map in case we need an additional draw here. Cast emergency powers. Still no 1,000-Year Storm. Put a treasure map onto the battlefield. Put all these triggers on the stack. So much gold. Sack a treasure and draw. Opt. Island to the bottom. Heroic reinforcements. Chemister's Insight. Chemister's Insight. My gosh. How deep in the deck is it? Pitch an island. Oh my goodness, are we just gonna brick the whole time? Well, I guess let's lightning strike a thief. Alright. We'll pass. Discard 2 Hallowed Fountains. Opponent gives us some treasure. they cast a Cleansing Nova to destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Well then, let us draw as many cards as possible. Pitching the lands we don't want to shock in. Treasure map to the bottom. Revitalize. Activate treasure map. Glacial Fortress to the bottom. Where's Thousand Year Storm? Are we going to have to win the old-fashioned way? Opponent duresses. I think it has to take heroic reinforcements. They take Chemister's Insight. They hit us with Thief of Sanity. Back to 20. Oh, we drew so many cards, it just didn't draw anything. Okay, so let's Tormenting Voice, discard Steam Vents. Tormenting Voice, discard Sacred Foundry. Pass the turn. Opponent Thought Erasure. Let's make some Thopters. Opponent takes Heroic Reinforcements. I think we do have one more emergency powers, unless it's the last exiled card they have from us. Opponent Hostage Taker, a Thopter. We will chump here, we don't want them exiling our last card if we can avoid it. We'll play a Plains. Flashback Chemister's Insight, pitch Mountain. And I guess we just destroy all creatures. So that's handled. Opponent plays a Doom Whisperer. Scary. Passes to our turn. We draw and opt. So we opt. Heroic Reinforcements to the bottom. Thousand Year Storm. Play Thousand Year Storm. Revitalize. Copied once. Draw. Draw. Play a Plains. Gain even more life. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a tap land. Takes a look at our grave. Plays the Eldest Reborn. Is that really your best play here? We have no creatures to sack, and the discard and reanimate's probably not going to be relevant for a long time. We draw Sacred Foundry. So we start opt. Smothering Tithe to the bottom. Any card that draws cards is good here. That'll do it. So we can play Smothering Tithe. Play a Plains. Emergency powers. That ought to get them. So now we get a ton of treasures. Interesting that the first one did not let us put a permanent with CMC 7 or less onto the battlefield. Play Smothering Tithe. Okay, let's opt. Bottom. 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 Opt again. Just want to make sure this heroic reinforcements will in fact kill them. I don't know if there's any 1-mana removal in this format. I can't actually remember at the moment. This might be slight overkill, but that's okay. Okay, white, red, white, red. Heroic reinforcements. Tons of duplicates. Sweet. Ooh, that was fun. I mean, it's the combo hand. We'll keep the combo hand. Opponent plays a mountain. Hallowed Fountain untapped. Mountain number 2 is mono red again. Runaway Steamkin. Well, Hallowed Fountain tapped. No action. Maybe we'll get them with a big settle if they're all creatures. Ooh, Steamkin 2. That's a lot of damage coming up. Alright, Revitalize is good. Play Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. One plays a Crash Through. Oh, is this like a combo list, sort of? Okay. Alright. This is... I don't have the absolute best cards for this list. You're gonna do that before attacking? You have more? Oh my gosh. Alright, in that case, we are not going to settle this turn. Or, I mean, we will settle next turn when they completely swing out. Play a Plains. Pass the turn. Maybe they know to play around settle. One plays a Raptor Hatchling. Pumping the guys. Lightning strikes are faced for maximum counters. They attack. We settle, and that should be game. They're left with a 1/1. That's brutal. I mean, we got like all the lands out of their deck, right? So they're just going to windmill slam threats for the rest of the game. Alright, so let's... Steam Vents tapped. Play Smothering Tithe. Pass the turn. Trigger. Opponent probably pays for it. They do. Play a mountain. Get in for 1. We go to 12. Untap. Hallowed Fountain untapped. Pass the turn. Alright. I'm going to plays a Sarkhan's Whelp. Gets in for 1. We Chemister's Insight. Draw some cards. Untap, draw more cards. So let's wait one more turn before we start like really comboing off. Lathless Dragon Queen. Alright, well this way when we combo off, our opponent can't pay for like a ton of our treasures. When it pumps the dorks. Let's Revitalize. Second emergency powers. Shoot the whelp. Okay, opponent gets in for 1. We take 1. Draw Tormenting Voice. Play an island. Cast emergency powers. Come on, good hand. This is not an amazing hand. Let's opt. Island bottom. Second Smothering Tithe. I think I tried to combo too fast. Comment in the section below if you think I tried to combo too fast. Because now my red opponent, with 10 lands, when I have no answers to this Lathless. Pitch Sacred Foundry. Okay. Alright, we can blow up the board. Kind of upset that it doesn't auto-tap treasures. I wonder if there's a way to turn that on. Alright, opponent, do you have 5 lightning strikes in your hand? Because that would kill us. Opponent lets us have the treasure. Plays a land. Up to 11 lands. Plays a Dragon's Horde. Plays a Fountain of Renewal. These aren't burn spells, opponent. You do know what color you're playing, right? Alright. You got it. I'm actually going to sack the treasure for this. We need some good cards off the top. Heroic Reinforcements to the bottom. Opponent draws a card, deciding whether or not to pay for it. Nope, they let us have the treasure. They play a Diamond Mare. Alright, scry with treasure map, mountain to the bottom. We draw, go to main, Revitalize, draw Sulfur Falls, play Smothering Tithe, Sacred Foundry tapped, pass the turn. I'm really actually scared of our opponent casting Massive Dragons. That was like a crazy mono-red aggro start where they cast 1,000,000 creatures, but like... I was expecting a ton more burn spells from our opponent. Not what I'm seeing right now. Opponent gets in for 3. We take 3, go to 13. We're going to stop on our upkeep so we can treasure map again. Is it? That's a lethal Banefire. On flavor too, because it has Sarkhan. Dang. Well, if you play the color red, you do have the option of just killing your opponent with damage. One more. Alright. We'll keep. Start plains, pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp. Clifftop Retreat and Treasure Map. Stop on our upkeep. Opponent plays a Plains and a Walking Corpse. I do love me some zombies. I'm actually going to keep the land here. Draw Mountain. Go to main. Play Glacial Fortress. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Doomed Dissenter. Gets in for 2. We'll heal for 3. Stop on our upkeep. Or... wow. That's kind of lame. But okay. Play a Mountain. Tormenting Voice. Discard... Chemister's Insight. Alright. Pass the turn. At least we have a stop for our next upkeep. When it plays a Swamp. Exposed to Daylight. Well, let's scry. Chemister's Insight to the bottom. Cast and opt. Heroic Reinforcements to the bottom. We draw Smothering Tithe. Well, we'd rather our opponent expose to Daylight a treasure map than a Smothering Tithe, but that is pretty unfortunate for us. Opponent gets in for 3, takes us to 18. We untap and draw Plains. Perfect. Go to main. Play a Plains, play Smothering Tithe, pass the turn. Okay, Smothering Tithe trigger. I think our opponent has to let us have the treasure here. Opponent plays a Swamp. If we draw a land, we can probably just like combo off. Probably. Opponent plays a Tithe Taker. Okay. Gets in for 3, we take it. Untap, draw a treasure map. So let's Chemister's Insight, discard, Depose, deploy. There's a land. So if we play land, untap, gain some life and draw a card. Okay, there's Thousand Year Storm. See if our opponent pays this time. They do not. They play a Swamp. Well, if they don't destroy this Smothering Tithe, we should be in a pretty good spot. Opponent plays a Kaya, Orzhov Usurper. A good minus on the treasure. We don't have anything in the grave that we like need. Opponent exiles, revitalizes. Attacks for 5, takes us to 11. We untap, draw a Mountain. Play a Mountain. And I think we just Emergency Powers. Yeah, let's Emergency Powers. Ooh, in 2000 Year Storm. That feels pretty great. Opponent can pay for one of them, but they can't pay for the rest. So we have 8. So let's actually Cleansing Nova. Destroy all creatures. Because it's copied, it handles the token. To tokens, excuse me. Okay, then let's Tormenting Voice. We'll discard an island. We draw 6. Land. Land Heroic Reinforcements. Alright, cool. Discard Steam Vents and Island. Pass the turn, Smothering Tithe trigger. And we should be able to get them with, like, opt reinforcements, I think. But it lets us have the treasure. But it plays a swamp. Opponent mortifies Smother. That was the wrong enchantment if you were going to destroy an enchantment. You needed to hit the storm. When it plays a Walking Corpse, takes up Kaya. Yeah, I think that misplay costs our opponent the game. Go to our turn. Play a Glacial Fortress. Let's opt. Plains to the bottom. We draw Revitalize. We have enough mana to Heroic Reinforcements twice, exactly. So Heroic Reinforcements. And then Heroic Reinforcements. Everybody attack our opponent. Good game, opponent. Hey, we ranked up. Bronze Tier 1. I do not play Constructed on Arena nearly enough, but then again, I also don't have the cards. Well, anyway. Hey, if you liked this deck and you liked this content and you made it this far in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel or left a comment, at least like the video. Let me know what you think. If you have an idea for something else you'd like me to play, you can send it to an email address. I'll have it in the description, along with a link to this deck list if you want to try it out. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one. Bye!